Southampton, a major port city on the south coast of England. It's a common departure point for many cruise ships and ferries, as well as being a major hub for cargo shipping. It's known for its universities, the University of Southampton, as well as Solent University. And who can forget Southampton Football Club? However, alongside the city's rich maritime and football history, the region has been a key player in the UK basketball scene. Let me take you back in time. The year is 1980. Margaret Thatcher is the Prime Minister of the UK, which is in the height of the Cold War against the then Soviet Union. This year saw the debut of many TV programs, such as Family Fortunes and Play Your Cards Right. A group of MCs from the Bronx, New York, decided to bring the new rap genre to the disco houses, pioneering the international growth of hip-hop. It was in this year that visionary local businessman and entrepreneur Harry Smith decided to assemble a basketball team in the Solent region. Harry's passion for the game of basketball developed whilst he played it in the army as part of the then Royal Army Pay Corps. He assembled a dream team comprised of Jim Rumsey, an expert in organising local basketball games, Mick Byrne, Ken Butcher, Don House, and Tom Wiseman. The team that we formed was the Solent Stars. From the beginning, they were a resounding success. In their first ever season, they won the National Cup as well as winning the Division 2 title. In the following season, they won the Division 1 title and were promoted to the highest league, the British Basketball League. There was one player that stood out amongst the Stars lineup, an American import from New Mexico, Jimmy Guyman.
Well, my name's Heron. I was statsman in the Solent Stars from 1980 right through to 2007. The first season, we went into the second division. Probably should have gone straight into the top division. But we won that division very well, and Jimmy Guyman was the superstar. He was averaged about 27 points a game. He also, I used to watch him when he was at Crystal Palace and saw him play. He was a real showman. Probably one of the greatest Americans ever to come to this country. Unfortunately for him, towards the end of the first season, he cracked his hip bone and hardly ever played after that. He was a nice chap, brilliant player, and dedicated and professional. He always was 100% and would train like a maniac. He was interested in perfection, and he was an amazing player. He was a big star at the games. When we went to Fleming Park, we eventually packed it out, over 1,000 people every game, mostly to see him and the stalwart Mark Sayers, who'd win every rebound. So we had a great first season, and I think we lost to Birmingham in the semi-final of the Cup, and we actually won the Cup 3 years running after that. So a great team, and we really did start things off in Southampton as far as basketball was concerned.
They played in Fleming Park Leisure Centre in Eastleigh with crowds of up to 1,200. This was an incredibly exciting time for basketball in Southampton as well as the UK more generally, with some of the biggest organisations sponsoring basketball, such as Asda, Peugeot, BIC and Lego. Games were televised on Channel 4 and ITV, and overall, the basketball scene was booming. However, the Solent Stars' success would be short-lived, and the club would eventually fold.
Solent had many successful years, and in 83-84, of 84 season, we won absolutely everything. By then, we recruited John Johnson, who was a shooting machine and a fantastic superstar for us. Unfortunately, we ended up by being bankrupt, and we had to retread, if you like, the team. And from that year onwards, from about 86, 87, we became less successful. And increasingly, with funding problems, the team went down a couple of divisions. We had some other players that came in and played who were exceptionally good, but unfortunately never really got to the top division again. And by 2000, we were going downhill quite rapidly with lesser coaches and less funding. And in the end, Fleming Park stopped us playing there because I don't think bills were paid. And so they folded. But they were taken over, if you can say, by Kestrels, who have been very successful ever since.
Jimmy Guyman ended up creating a club called the Solent Kestrels. The club was founded in 1998 by Jimmy and Bev Guyman, who wanted somewhere for their son to play competitive basketball in the Solent area. The club was a resounding success, winning many National League titles. I had the privilege of playing for the club myself whilst growing up. Out of all English NBA players, 2 of them have come from the Solent program.
I think the Solent Kestrels have done a absolutely stellar job in becoming one of the top programs in the country. Obviously, there was a massively historical run over the course of 4 years, I think, where they won pretty much everything, was sweeping everything, had a handful of losses, but really brought attention to what they've been doing at a higher level. The program obviously runs from the grassroots all the way up through to the seniors. They've got men's and women's programs, male and female programs, and have done an incredibly impressive job of developing talent. For an area like where they're based, where you maybe wouldn't expect to have all this talent that's coming out of it, to have produced what is now effectively, 2 NBA players, as well as a number of high-level prospects. I think they continue to turn heads year on year, and that is testament to the work they're doing.
Southampton is home to one of the nation's top junior academies, Heron. Heron has won multiple championships and has secured multiple signings to the United States of America. As well as Egyptian College, the Solent men's Kestrel team has secured numerous victories in championships, winning 4 trophies and having a win streak of 45 plus games.
Yeah, my name's Elliot. I've been at Solent Kestrels since 2007 when I was roughly 10 or 11 years old. And I've been part of the sort of team until now. Well, this is the first season now I've not played with them. Basketball has had a massive impact on me growing up. Just sort of that consistency of having something to work towards and a team to play in growing up sort of made me not want to stay out of trouble directly, but I always had sort of a little purpose. I always wanted to train, I always had something to do. We were the first team under the name of Solent Kestrels to win a national championship as a junior team. And it meant so much to sort of everyone involved at the club that had been there before I got there. And then as a senior, we've had quite a lot of success, but I would say just getting to the DVL Trophy final, and probably the most sort of, the most success we had. It's sort of the highest sort of level we reached, but it's also at the same time one of the toughest things to look back on because we were really close to winning it.
At the heart of the club's success was a kind and loving coach, Bev Guyman.
Bev Guyman was like a superwoman. She used to travel all over the city, making sure kids got if they wanted to, they got basketball and they could go to sessions. It didn't really matter where you lived. If you didn't have a mode of transport and you told her, she would find a way to get someone to pick you up or pick her up herself. And just that sort of selflessness sort of just travelled through the club and sort of, as she was the first one, she was the one that asked me to come along to trials. And, you know, for me, I could just, the memories I have of her was just how much she loved basketball and loved watching people play basketball and enjoying basketball. And just her passion for it just spread throughout the club.
Despite the Solent region's success in the game of basketball, there are still ways that the game can grow, especially at the grassroots level.
I think we need to understand and recognise that there is a highly successful National League programme here in Southampton, which has done so much to build the profile of basketball here, has done incredible strides to connect with colleges and secondary schools, and to put an incredible men's team on the floor for years and years. I think the place where I feel the investment may be lacking is in the grassroots basketball, is for those guys who love the game, who play every evening after school or for the whole day on Saturday or Sunday, but want a competitive outlet, who maybe at this period of time they've only just started playing and playing at a national level isn't where they're at yet, but it's creating a stepping stone towards that, towards a pathway which they can play at a high level. So, for me, investment in basketball needs to start from the ground up. It needs to start with those maybe in a similar vein as the Saints Foundation here in Southampton, going into schools and building up the interest from a really early age for boys, for girls. I personally work within special needs education, so within that field as well, and showing how diverse and how, in some ways, basketball is such a simple game and everybody can and should be involved with it. 2 hoops, a ball and a floor, you got that, you can play and you can build such a excitement for the game so quickly. Investment into those who can go and pass that, you know, and when I'm talking about those who are a bit older, take that passion that they've got and pass it to a next generation who can carry it through, have opportunity for local tournaments, for 3-on-3 tournaments, for things that are going outside in the summer where there's music and food and ways that, again, community is at the forefront and this game is highlighted for what it is. And what it is a simple game which has got such a passionate following, which is so high when it comes to the skill level. And here in Southampton, specifically, I've seen so many great basketball players from all different backgrounds, different ages, who go and watch the Solent Kestrels play, but also want an opportunity where they can develop their game and hopefully reach a standard where they can play there as well.
A thriving academy and national club scene, as well as a thriving local community built up of multiple nationalities that love and cherish and respect the game, is what makes Southampton a hoop city.